Ladies and gentlemen, I want to express a very warm welcome to all of you at the White House. We're very appreciative to the National Education Association, to your leader, Mr. Wyatt, to your officials, Mr. Carr and others, for the support they've given to our efforts this year to see if we can persuade the Congress to meet what I regard as a very pressing national obligation and responsibility in the field of education. And that obligation and responsibility stretches across a very wide spectrum of needs. I've just come back from driving through part of the state of Florida, and every time I take a journey which takes me by car and see the number of mothers with young children who are standing in the streets, I realize once again in a very personal way what a tremendous flood of children are coming into our schools, elementary, high schools, colleges, and we hope even going beyond that. Now, we cannot get the job done with all the competing claims for dollars unless we have determined and dedicated work at the local level, at the state level, and at the national level. This Congress must be judged, in my opinion, by what it's able to do in the important field of education, certainly as much as in any other field, before it goes home for its next July or next August. It is my strong belief that when this Congress does go home on that occasion, it will have done more in the field of education than any Congress in the last 100 years. Really, I suppose, since the Morrill Act, which established the land-grant colleges. But I think in the field of education, higher education, vocational education, in the field of assisting teachers who are on salaries, particularly those who are at the low end and those who are at the high end, so that we can encourage the best talent we've got to go into teaching, in the scholarships for needy students, in a whole variety of ways, mental retardation and all the rest. I think that this Congress, some may claim I'm optimistic, but I think this Congress is going to write, as I said, the best program certainly in a century. I think the need is greater than it's been for a century. I think the number of children who need an education and the complexities of our society place a much higher burden upon the average citizen than ever before. This is no new role for the federal government. You know this better than anyone. Since the Northwest Ordinance, since the Land Grant Act, since a dozen legislative acts by the Congress, we have indicated that we believe a free society must be well educated. We have a very new responsibility in '63 because of the size of the population and because of the needs of this population. So I hope that you will continue to do your work, that you will continue to prod us, and occasionally here in the administration, the White House, occasionally the members of the House and Senate, and see if we can get this job done. I've quoted before, and I quote again, Mr. Jefferson, that if we expect a nation to be ignorant and free, we expect what never was and never will be. That should be our thesis for the next 9 months, and see if we can, before Congress goes home, they leave something here that's worthy to be remembered in the important field of education. I want to thank you. Things don't happen, they're made to happen. In the field of education, they're made to happen by you and your members, so we're very grateful.